Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Goa Ahead, and we are discussing a very interesting topic. We are just 4 to 5 days away from the results of the assembly elections, and the opposition party, which aspires to be a ruling party in next few days, Congress, has leveled a very serious allegation against the ruling BJP. The Congress leaders in a jumbo press conference leveled allegations that the BJP is tapping their phones, snooping on them, and trying to ensure that come what may, Congress does not form the government even if they get the numbers or if they fall short of numbers by 2 to 3 seats. How serious is this allegation? Is there any truth into it? And with just 4 to 5 days for the election results, how the political landscape for Goa should look at this issue? A very serious allegation, a very serious issue. I have 3 eminent panelists with me here today. First, I have leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party and an engineer by profession and qualification, Siddharth Kukalekar. Siddharth,
Namaskar.
welcome.
Thank you.
Next, I have leader of the Congress Party and their spokesperson, Sunil Kautankar. Sunil, welcome. Third, I have cyber security expert with more than 20 years of experience, Vijay Sarthi. Vijay, welcome. Sunil, I'll start with you, obviously, because this is an allegation that your party is leveling. What exactly is happening? What are you suspecting that the BJP is doing right now?
See, right now, we have raised the issue yesterday. Our leaders, the senior leaders of the party, that is the party president of the Goa unit, Shri Girish Chodankar, then the leader of opposition, Shri Gumball Kamath, and other leaders have met the Director General of Police for the state of Goa. And we have demanded from him that a thorough inquiry should be conducted and a thorough stringent action must be initiated against those who are conducting and carrying out illegal snooping on our leaders, because we have confirmed reports, confirmed information, and from our sources, we have our information from the sources from the state as well as from Delhi, that the BJP has hired a private agency which is monitoring and snooping on the phones used by various leaders, top leadership of the party as far as Goa is concerned, because they have realized that they are not winning this election, that the people of Goa have rejected them, and that is the only means that is left with them is to use the mechanisms and tools of the intelligence sector to try and get into the entire confidential conversations amongst the leaders to try and get out the strategies and the plans and to dislodge the formation of the government.
Who are these leaders, if I may ask? If you are suspecting that your leaders are snooped upon, who are these leaders?
Leaders, I will be very specific with you. There are not just 1 or 2 leaders. There are several key leaders who are involved. There are leader of opposition is involved, the party president is involved, even some key office bearers are involved, including we are our in charges of the states are involved. There are senior leaders of the party involved. Who are
all of these people are snooped upon.
All of these people who are the part of this election process, who have played key roles and who are the key players in this entire election process are being snooped upon.
Before I go to Siddharth, one final question, Sunil. When we speak about snooping, what are you trying to say? Is it only phone tapping or is it entire takeover of your electronic device? Sunil.
See, as far as the technicalities of this snooping is concerned, what we have realized upon receiving the information from the credible sources, even we have received, this is a government which is a continuous setup that is there, whether whichever political party comes, every political party have their own sources in the organization, even we have our sources in the police department. At the beginning only we got the hint that the police department is tapping some numbers. As far as tapping is concerned, that's a routine that has happened as far as BJP regime is concerned. We got specific details from them, specific numbers, including we have experienced, I have personally experienced that the calls are getting dropped. Suddenly when we are calling, there's some sort of specific disturbance when we are using and communicating with some specific phones. And we got to understand that is mainly because of the targeted tapping or targeted snooping and trying to intrude into the device.
Very interesting. Siddharth, I think Sunil has elaborated it good enough for you to respond. I don't even need to ask you a question.
No, in fact, he says the calls being dropped. So I don't know whether he's blaming the wrong agency. The network provider should be blamed for the calls being dropped, because it is happening in our leaders, everybody. It is a network issue. But by the way, I mean, just to remind my friend about the past, he has asked for a thorough inquiry. And let me remind him, in 1991, then Chandrasekhar, who was the president of Janata Party during VP Singh government, had alleged that there are snoopings going on his phone, his house. VP Singh, the righteous leader that he was, immediately ordered for a CBI inquiry. And the report is before the people. It opened a Pandora's box. More than 9,000 phones were tapped by Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi government. 500 emails were tapped. This is their state. I mean, as recent as 2011, I think Pranab Da had written, when he was the finance minister, he had written to Manmohan Singh that his house is bugged. His own colleague, Manmohan Singh, was the Prime Minister of Congress. Pranab Da was the Finance Minister of Congress. He alleged during Congress time, during UPA time. And I think, they have been snooping across. Congress has got a bad habit of snooping across. Even Maulana Abdul Bukhari, his son Ahmed Bukhari, their senior ministers, K.C. Pant, Karunanidhi, their Congress allies, Mamta Banerjee, when she was the rail minister, in 2009, she had alleged.
Are you saying?
I think this is nothing but pot calling the kettle black. See this as the D-Day approaches, as the 10th March approaches, there will be several reasons. Right now it is only phone tapping. Tomorrow I think there are 5 more days. The next level of allegations will be the EVMs are manipulated.
We'll go to EVM.
It is an imminent defeat that they are facing, and they are creating a ground for that.
Siddharth will go to EVM. My question is, before I go to Vijay, are you saying that they don't have a moral right to question you, or are you saying you are not snooping on them?
Absolutely. Everybody has got a right to ask for a thorough inquiry. And I mean, they also have a right to. But making baseless allegations.
You are not snooping on them.
Absolutely no. And Indian Postal Act mandates anybody being snooped should be a threat to national security or should be a smuggler. I don't know whether they fall in that category. There is a due process of law that has to be followed.
Before you tap somebody's phone.
Yeah, of course, yes. He said it's officially being done. So officially, when it is being done, the information will be available under right to information. It's an open place. There are instructions passed on by the officials to tap anybody's phone if it is deemed fit. There are systems mandated for that. It is not that I wish to tap somebody's phone and I can just instruct my official and get it tapped.
No, but you mentioned about smuggling in the classic term of smuggling and the classic meaning of smuggling. If you keep it aside, I think after 10th March, I think there is one thing that we Goans do not want to see is the smuggling of MLAs, for sure.
I don't know about them.
Vijay,
nothing. I mean,
sure about
I'm sure, but
trying to do it.
They have tried their level best, to give them oath when there are some candidates of theirs who are laughing in front of Devi Mahalakshmi.
Okay, We'll come to that. Vijay, when you listen to these allegations, how much seriousness do you find or credence do you find in these allegations? And can snooping be done like that? I asked Sunil a specific question. He elaborated it in a different way, that it is only phone tapping or it is just complete takeover of your electronic device. So how, as a cyber security expert, how are you looking at this? How difficult is it? And and the symptoms, indications that Sunil is mentioning, like call dropping and things like that, how credible these indications are?
As far as phone tapping or phone hacking is concerned, there are different methods that are available. The official ones are those which are required by law, that is at the telco level. So all of them have the legal interception, which is the technical term for phone tapping. But that's apart. There are nowadays different unorganized methods of phone tapping, which is basically from the dark web, which is these tools available right off the internet, which you can pay a few dollars and buy it and deploy it yourself. But this cannot be used on a mass scale. So when you want a single person to monitor many people, you cannot do that. So and each of these cases depends on the software that is being used, where if the software is not well designed, it can impact the user's phone, and it might give a hint to the user about that their phone is being
What kind of
tampered.
hints? Now, as a layman, I am also interested. What kind of hints? For Sunil, it is call dropping. As a cyber security expert, what kind of hints we should be looking out for?
See, it can be unexplained calls being made where you haven't physically made a call, or a call that has become a conference call for some reason. Call drops, maybe, it cannot be said for sure. So these are, and it depends on the software developer's skill set in which these indications might show up, but all software developers try to not show any indications to make it seem completely under the hood.
So sometimes your electronic device can be completely taken over and you wouldn't even know.
Absolutely.
You are saying in present high tech world, that's more of a possibility.
See, when you're going for an individual target, then that is the most effective way.
Yeah,
typically.
very, very interesting. Sunil, but I'm tempted to ask you this. What are you fearing? What is that information that you're afraid that BJP is listening and that and it can turn the tables on you?
See, I will before coming to that, I would like to respond to what Siddharth said in his reply.
Yeah.
One thing I'm pretty sure is that my dear friend Siddharth will go a long way in Bharatiya Janata Party, and I hope he does, because he is towing the exact line of his party leaders like Narendra Modi, the bosses, who to cover up his failures, he is still dead blaming Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So Siddharth also started with the Golgappas of history by feeding us to divert the attention from the actual subject.
change.
Let me.
Let
I have not
the
I have not interrupted. He should not interrupt me.
History cannot
Let us
change.
not
The
interrupt.
fact
Let us
remains.
not interrupt each
Siddharth, I'll come to
other.
you.
Let
Yeah,
us not
Sunil,
interrupt each
respond, then
other.
I'll go to Siddharth. Yeah.
So the manner in what Siddharth has gone to the history, let me bring Siddharth back to the reality and the immediate situation right now, rather than going to the incidences and situations of 1991 and those times of 70s and 80s. Rashmi Shukla, an IPS officer of a rank of Additional Director General of Police, she was earlier posted in Maharashtra, now she is elsewhere. She has today been granted anticipatory bail. She had to rush to the court and seek anticipatory bail, as inquiry is being conducted on her for illegally snooping on Congress leaders during Fadnavis, when Fadnavis was the Maharashtra Chief Minister. Also, there is an instance wherein, in a case involving the then Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, the then former Chief Minister Fadnavis, who is also incidentally the in charge of BJP for Goa, gave a data of 6.1 GB call records to the Union Home Ministry. Now, I don't understand. I understand Fadnavis is in possession of that data as a Chief Minister of Maharashtra. But when the Congress and the alliance, Shiv Sena Congress NCP alliance government is there in Maharashtra, I don't understand how can Fadnavis even possess that 6.1 GB data. It is illegal. And she was the officer who was involved in getting this data to him, and that is the entire inquiry case is going on, and she had to rush to the honorable court to get a relief. So let us not go 30 years back. Let us see what their leaders are doing today. And ironically, the same Fadnavis is the in charge of the state today of BJP. And I need not speak anything more.
Sunil, what are you afraid that they would be listening?
They see. It is obvious that while we are heading for the counting days, just 5 days are remaining for the counting, there are strategies being discussed on phone at times because of the constraint of distance and time and the various other practical reasons. There are various options being discussed. There are various alliances being discussed. If these things go out, if these strategies, if this plan...
You are saying BJP can preempt your political strategy.
BJP is trying to preempt, but I am pretty sure that we will not give them or not allow them any scope or any space to make any moves as far as getting any interference in our formation of the government is concerned.
So this is now becoming a snooping match. Your snooping versus my snooping. Isn't it sad, Siddharth?
No, I see. Let me correct one thing.
Yeah.
My friend, he said that we are raking up history. History cannot be changed. It is there for us to study and not to repeat the mistakes that we have committed in the past. We lost Aksai Chin. We still blame him. He has said, your own leader has said, that nothing grows there, not even a blade of grass. So why you simply spend money on that Aksai
I think
Chin?
we should not divert the topic.
No, I'm not diverting. I'm going
You are.
into history.
Yes, Sunil,
So there are
yes,
historical records
you're saying history is a
detailing
fair
this.
reference point.
It's a fair reference
Okay.
point. And I think as far as the call drops being concerned, I think the DGP is not the right authority. They should go to their Idea or Vodafone or their service providers to complain.
See, it is not
Even
just
Vijay
call
has
dropping,
come.
it is even the
See,
specific
No, Siddharth, the point is-
going
the
into
calls.
this, I'll see one more thing. What you asked is what is that sensitive information that is being snooped on?
No, Siddharth, the
Okay.
point is, are you open for an inquiry? The point is, they have gone to the DGP. You are saying we are not doing anything like that. Do you think the government should be, or the caretaker government should say that, okay, inquire into it, we have no problem?
I think so. Why not? There should be a fair inquiry. And Indian penal system, Indian judicial system has got very good checks and balances. And I think everything should be open.
You're not, your party is not shying away
But
from inquiry.
there cannot be baseless allegations.
You're
What
saying
Congress
these allegations
makes
are
is
baseless.
baseless allegations.
Vijay, I'm tempted to ask you this. When you listen to the politicians and when they, my snooping versus your snooping, in this present high-tech world, what are we talking about? Because many of the politicians, and why I'm asking this, because this is something that has become routine for us now. Many of the politicians prefer to talk on WhatsApp right now. If I am using a WhatsApp call to communicate with somebody else, we are told that it is end-to-end encrypted. Is it really? And can there be technological advancements, snooping advancements, which can even break into that?
So WhatsApp and similar other technologies like Signal or Telegram, all these applications use end-to-end encryption and generally are robust. And however, also no security is 100%, right? And cyber security is also similar to in this aspect. And so there are possibilities where people find what you call as a software bug, and that can be exploited using different other softwares, and therefore break that end-to-end encryption and snoop in. It's a possibility, yes, definitely.
And when you listen to this political snooping from legal standpoint, now Siddharth mentioned a very clear point. There is a proper paper trail if you have to snoop on somebody for the matters of national security and so on and so forth. When you listen to the political snooping, do you think a political party, any political party with that kind of wherewithal at their disposal, can carry out a very effective, I'm not talking about the government, I'm talking about political party, any political party is an independent entity, with all the resources at their disposal, can carry out a massive large-scale snooping operation?
See, in terms of phone tapping, the systems in place for governments and security agencies allow them to do mass monitoring, whether it is the NSA in the US or other security agencies in India. However, private individuals and groups do not have, easy access to any of these, because softwares that do mass level monitoring are sold only to vetted entities typically, and so therefore private individuals are resort to taking things off the internet, the dark web.
Yeah. Very interesting point. And now, Sunil, let's come to the point that Siddharth was raising. See, today you are saying your electronic gadgets are being snooped upon. Tomorrow you may say that the typical EVM controversy, that EVMs are being hacked. Are we getting into a zone where such kind of things may be heard? Because there are some politicians who are talking about it. Siddharth suspects that tomorrow if there is a defeat, then more than blaming your own performance, your party will blame the EVMs.
I think we should not get into that discourse right now. This is a very serious issue and serious topic that we are discussing, and the whole basis of this discussion remains the fundamental right. The privacy is a fundamental right that is ensured to us by the Indian Constitution, that is being infringed upon, that is being violated blatantly by this government and by the ruling party, that's BJP. We also have example of their government at the central level using a software, a high-tech, sophisticated software like Pegasus to snoop upon the judiciary, the senior judges of the Supreme Court, the High Courts. They are snooping upon some corporate leaders. They are snooping upon some big NGOs. They are snooping upon some big bureaucrats. They are snooping upon even the journalists. They are also snooping upon the politicians, and this has been proved time and again. It has been brought to light by some of the most biggest names in the journalism, like New York Times.
Sunil, do you
And
think?
most reliable names
Yeah, I'll come
for
to
that
Siddharth.
matter.
Yeah.
And as far as the Congress party is concerned, we are pretty, I am making it very clear right now, when our government will be formed on the 10th of this March, we will open an inquiry into this entire episode. We will conduct a thorough investigation, and we will make sure that those involved in this illegal snooping are taken to task and get stringent punishment.
Sunil, when you say that they may listen to some alliance talks and all, are you preparing yourself that your party may fall short of couple of seats and you may have to approach somebody?
Not at all. We are very sure from day one that we are not falling short of any seats. We are forming this government comfortably. But as a part of the political strategy is concerned, right now I cannot disclose all the strategies, open all the cards. There will be talks with the like-minded parties which have fought against the BJP to have a very stable government against the BJP.
So you are saying even if you have numbers, and this is very significant.
That depends.
Even if you have
That
numbers, you will
depend-
be open for talks.
That depends. Let us not cross the bridge before we approach it.
Okay. Siddharth, yeah, you wanted to respond.
Yes, I mean, he made a comment initially that, I am following Modi ji very closely and I follow his footsteps. Yes, I agree, and I'm proud to say that I do that. Unfortunately, he has been following his leader's footsteps. And you mentioned Pegasus. In Pegasus case, after a lot of appeals by the court, by the independent committee that is set up by the Supreme Court, there are only, I think, 2 or 3 complainants who have come forward, and that too they have not given anything. This is your leader who's become a joke today. So I think the baseless allegations that the Congress is used to make is repeating here again.
So, Siddharth-
and they are preparing a ground for the 10th of March imminent defeat.
So what are you saying? Well, that the allegation, and it's not that some junior level leader has made an allegation. It is the leader of opposition. It is the president of the PCC. It is a former minister in your government who has now switched sides and is with them. It is these kind of people who have made. What do you think? What are they preparing
yes,
grounds for?
so
Only
I'll
defeat.
tell
They
you
are
one
making
thing.
these allegations only because they are preparing ground for defeat. Is that your argument?
One doesn't have to snoop on them. The dearth of leadership in Congress in Goa is forcing their members to come and seek a crying shoulder amongst other parties. And that is what has happened prior to elections, during elections. And it's going to happen now also. So I think they should look at their own house and set it up, repair it.
You're calling it fear psychosis.
It's a fear psychosis, nothing but fear psychosis. And he is threatening the government officers. That if I come to power, I'll show you. That is not the right attitude.
Okay.
Governance
You want to
is a
respond to it
continuous
before I
process.
go to Vijay?
I want
Yeah.
to respond to this, both the allegation of Siddharth very categorically. Number one, what Siddharth has said about we should look into our house. We have looked into our house. Our house is very clean today. Our garbage is in your house, sitting as your candidates. And you yourself are even a victim of the defections that you all orchestrated. Your party is without leaders, without cadres, and that is what you are going to see on the 10th. Number
Okay,
two.
okay.
I'm from the cadre.
Number two, your second allegation as far as we giving threats to the officers, I think I have said it very clearly that we are going to open an inquiry. We are going to conduct thorough investigation, and we are going to take stringent action on those involved in illegal snooping.
Okay.
This is not a threat, but this is the reality check that I am trying to give to all those who are involved in this.
Whom are you sending this message? You are sending this
I am
message to
sending
the
this
officers.
message
You are
loud
sending this
and clear
message to
to
the
all those-
politicians. Whom are you sending this
I
message?
am sending this message loud and clear to all those who are involved in this illegal snooping, who are involved in the violation of the fundamental right of privacy of Indian Constitution.
Okay. Finally, Vijay, and this is a very simple question because of what we have been discussing over the last 20 minutes or so. What is your advice to Digambar Kamat today? What would you like him to do over a period of next 4-5 days? How should he deal with his smartphone? Because all of us are using smartphones now. Are you advising Digambar Kamat to stop using his phone and start making calls from some other number, or that is also not safe?
No. So, You know, the quickest, fastest way is to do a factory reset, but even then, the best, as they say, old is gold. You have lot less risks when you're using your feature phone.
So don't be smart with your smartphone for the next 4-5 days. That's the simple advice you are giving us. Vijay, Siddharth, Sunil, while concluding, again I'm asking this question to everybody on the panel over last 3-4 days. Sunil, I'll start with you. Hung assembly or decisive mandate?
I have been very clear from day one when we have been discussing on your platform about these elections. This time, Goa has decided Goa is going to give a very decisive mandate because Goa has suffered enough under the misrule of BJP. They don't want anything any more.
Sunil,
of the
hung.
suffering.
Sunil, election is over now. Just
Yes,
tell
so
me
I'm very
hung or
clear.
decisive?
Not hung at all. It
Not
will be
hung
very
at all.
decisive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Siddharth, hung or decisive?
Yeah, I agree with his first part. The Goans have given a very decisive mandate, and they have seen the development, the development that has touched the doorstep of every house, every individual in Goa during the BJP rule, and they have also remembered the past mischiefs of the Congress government, and they have voted decisively. I am confident that we will form the next government with a clear majority.
Clear majority. I won't put Vijay through the same question and
Yes.
ask him that question because he is our very nice, very good cyber security expert. Let him be that.
But only thing that has touched every doorstep in the state of Goa during their misrule of BJP is the deaths during COVID.
I can. So, Sunil, we can go on and on and on, but I can tell you, nice to see.
Elections are over.
No, nice to see Siddharth and Sunil agreeing on one point that there is going to be a decisive mandate. The only problem in the statement is both of them believe that it is for their own party. Now, what is the reality? We'll come to know on 10th. However, for now, on this serious topic and a serious discussion, Sunil, Siddharth, Vijay, thanks a lot for participating and giving us these insights. We are just 4 to 5 days away from the result. We'll come back to you with what's happening in Goa. Till then, keep watching Goa Ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.